Hi there, everyone. It's a sports algorithm and sports betting podcast today here. Day after Labor Day, we're Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. And I spend some time creating these algorithms daily. Even necessarily don't follow all these sports, but the algorithms are pretty good. And I do just want to kind of get them autonomously running so that we know who to pick and we can create some like mathematically beneficial wagers without having to follow all the sports necessarily. So I'm going to talk about what I've actually done today. I want to put aside a budget, put it out there, make the pick, and then just discuss what happens because I have seen long-term profitability with the algorithms picking winners. You can spend a ton of time trying to get points exactly right, overs and unders and spreads. And while I have never seen anyone consistently beat the spread, the odds makers are pretty good at putting spread lines in there. When it comes to just picking winners, that's what the algorithms are designed to do. So I have all winners on the round robin today, and I would like to continue to do that as I develop more algorithms for college football. For those of you who are waiting for me to do something with college football, for example, that's on the plate. I've been getting enough requests that I'm gonna try it. No promises, but we're gonna try it over the next few weeks while we're waiting for some other sports to start, like hockey and basketball. So we're gonna try that. But as for today, here on Tuesday, we've got WNBA and we have baseball. And so I have just winners on here, and I want to go through what the algorithm does and why it's just pretty basic to read this and to take a look. All right. So we're looking at the WNBA list for the day. These games have not happened yet, so we can hide this. And one thing we can see here is that we have some teams that are pretty strong favorites to win according to the algorithm. And unfortunately, according to the odds makers as well, but we're picking winners here. So we're going to pay these bad lines because we think these teams are going to win. The Mystics are supposed to beat the Phoenix Mercury. Both teams have injuries, but the Mystics are a better team in general. There's a big margin here. So we're going to pay the minus 298 and take the Mystics to win. Brittany Griner is playing in this game, but Taurasi and a few of the other big name players, Sophie Cunningham may be out with a jaw injury. I think she's a game time decision. So the Mystics probably win that game, but we don't know what will happen with points because it's just really difficult to predict points. And when you pick a bunch of teams on a round robin here, you've got to get winners because I'm going to show you what happens if we start to lose some of these games, how drastically it affects your payout, right? This is a $75 round robin over combinations of 6 team, 7 team, 8 team, and the 9 team parlay. And if you hit all 9 of these teams, you're going to get $1,650 payout, a really nice payout for one day. 21 to 1 would be what you get if you can hit all 9 of these. Probably not going to hit all 9 of these, but it's possible. And so we're going to talk about what happens when we miss some, but we're also going to talk about our logic. How did we derive these picks to begin with? So yeah, Mystics have a big margin here, probably going to win this game. So we went with them. The Sky and the Fever both have equal health percentages at 86. There's a margin of about 3% for the Sky. Sky have also been playing better anecdotally. So we have them up here. That's a pretty good line. So we're also going, because it's basketball and WNBA algorithm picks winners pretty solidly in basketball, we're going to go with the Sky here. So Sky to win. The Sun also heavily favored because there's a lot of injuries on the Sparks. The margin's only about 2%. We're starting to get down to a lower margin here. It's not a good line, but they're supposed to win. So we took these 3, and I didn't play anything in the Liberty Wings game because, as you can see, the Dallas Wings are healthier than the Liberty here. And the margin's really close anyway. So this game could probably go any way. And if you were going to do anything on a straight bet, you'd probably take something like Dallas at plus 210 because this game is so close, or Dallas plus the 6.5 points. Does not say that New York will cover this game 6.5 points. So it's another option to do, but I left it off the winners round robin because it's just too close to call. So we've got these 3 from WNBA. Hopefully we'll hit all of them. Now let's go over to baseball. So updated baseball for the day. And the thing about the baseball algorithm is you generally want games that have higher margins up here. Margins above 10%, above 15% are the most solid picks. Are you going to hit all of them? Probably not, but it does have days where, looks like there's top 6 games here. You can expect with the baseball algorithm that on a top 6 like this, that on average, you're going to go about 4-2. Your better days are going to go 5-1, and you will have 6-0 days up top. It has happened. So you should expect something more around the realm of a 4-2 on a reasonable day, but hopefully a 5-1 day. You could look at all the different matchups and layers of these games to find out why certain teams are being favored and what type of games these should be. Something you'd be more interested in if you really want to purchase the MLB algorithm and dive into this. But we're just trying to get it to automate itself so that we don't have to dig too deep and we can just get the summary of what's supposed to happen. So I went with these 6 teams over 10% margin: Toronto, the Cubs, Kansas City, Seattle, Milwaukee, and Atlanta. And they show up in the list of our round robin right here. Okay, all these teams. Now, great day of 9-0 would be awesome. That would pay for 21 days of losing if you could hit all 9 of them. Don't expect to. What can we expect? I said that generally you're going to do pretty well with WNBA, but there's a chance we might lose one. All right. So what happens if we lose this really good game on the sky? Okay. We lose this game here. All of a sudden our payout drops dramatically. So now we're only making 3-1 on our money. What if we lose a couple of these baseball games? What if Kansas City loses? And what if Milwaukee loses on the road? You can see that 2 losses, we're already now losing money. And at 3 losses, we're losing even more money. And we're getting almost nothing back, because I loaded up on the round robins that are higher round robins here: 6s, 7s, 8, 9s, meaning if you go 6-3, you're only getting one of these parlays paying out because you only got 6 teams correct. So it's going to be a rubber match to determine whether or not you can go better than 6-3. You're going to have to go 7-2 to come around and almost break even, or potentially, yeah, about break even or lose a little bit. So it's difficult when you weight it like this. But if you're doing this, for the excitement of, can you hit a bunch of games? Can you have a huge payout? That's the way I like to do it. Now, that's not necessarily the most profitable way to do it if you're betting a lot of money every day. Let me show you that. So if we don't weight our round robins like this, we don't try to really go for the gusto and get them all and have a huge payday. If you try not to gamble as much, but do a little bit of something smarter mathematically, you can see that what you're trying to do in hitting all 9 here is you're trying to hit a 60-1 shot. That's what all of these 9 games pay. But keep in mind, we have advanced intelligence that picked these teams. There are some teams on the baseball list that we stayed away from. We stayed away from the Yankees at -250 against Detroit. It put them way down here. We stayed away from Arizona against Colorado at -210. Algorithm says it's just not as strong of a game. Hopefully that will provide enough intelligence to be the right decision. Maybe one of those games will lose and we're able to stay away from them. Let's go back to the list and talk about, okay, we've got all favorites here. They don't pay very well. Well, what happens if we focus on the round robins that are down here, right? Let's say that with our $75, we do something like playing just the 3s, for example, right? Maybe 85 cents on each one of these 3 team round robins. You've got almost a $75 bet, something like this. Well, here, notice you can only get 3.8-1, even if you get all 9 of these games correct anyway. But while that excessive payout of hitting all of them is nowhere near 60-1, if you put them all on a round robin parlay, essentially, there are better things that happen when you lose games. For example, let's go back and let's talk about those 3 games that we could potentially lose: the Sky, Kansas City. See, notice we lose 1, we're still profitable. We lose 2, we lose this Kansas City game, we're still profitable at 7-2. And if we lose a 3rd game, we're losing a little bit more. So you can still go 6-3 and not lose very much. But it depends on where you want to weight this. What if we do, instead of the 3s, what if we do the 4s? Put in something there. That's about a $75 bet almost. Here, if you go 6-3, you're losing more, but if you go 7-2, you're gonna win more. It was a $175 payout previously when we were doing just the threes. If you do the fours, actually no, you win less. So it's better to go down less and play the round robins that are twos, threes, fours. You're going to see less variance in your wager when you win and lose certain games, and you're going to potentially be able to make money, not having to win every single game. So I just laid it out there. There are days where the algorithm is going to do great things, and you're going to hit a lot of these. And I've been there. I've done that. I mean, I've had days where I bet $35 and won $4,000 on college basketball. It's rare. I mean, it doesn't happen every week, but big things happen about every month. And you can be certain that if you're doing something like this every day with the algorithm, that once a month, you're going to have a pretty amazing day and hopefully pay for all your wagers along the way to get there. So it's a longer run. It's a more roundabout way of becoming profitable, because you are not going to win every day in sports betting. It's not possible. Anybody who's telling you that you're going to win every day betting on sports is lying to you, because nobody does. There are always things out of your control, and it's still gambling. But to do it in an intelligent way using the algorithms, I mean, it can make it fun. I'd say the most enjoyment I have out of this, when I am enjoying this, it's not sitting around and live betting and watching 50 different sports at once and trying to keep a handle on everything. That's extremely frustrating. It's time consuming. It's exhausting. But setting up the algorithms at the beginning of the day, trying to find the optimal picks, throwing them all together, and then revisiting it at 10 o'clock at night on the East Coast, taking a look at how everything goes, you can end up be watching a late game where, you've hit every other game, and you could have a swing on this last game, that's hundreds and hundreds of dollars, right? Like the difference is $542 or $289, something on the last game, and you only bet 70, 75 or something to begin with. So in that sense, I do find that enjoyable, especially on days when you have a lot of football games. You can throw these round robins together with a heavy football schedule and really enjoy that when things are going well. But keep in mind, whatever you're wagering, expect to lose it so that you don't find yourself disappointed. Understand that I've always said that somebody who bets their entire bankroll in one day, I will show you someone who's lost their entire bankroll in one day. So as long as you understand that, then you'll find yourself with less push and pull, tug back and forth emotionally as you're doing this. And whatever happens, happens. So that's the update. WNBA, MLB. I'm on to working on college football for all of you who are asking. So even though NFL's starting, I'm also gonna try to run something for college football. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning. May we get 9 winners tonight. If I keep doing this every day, before the end of September, you're gonna see one of these days where we hit all of them. It's just a matter of time when we're using the algorithm appropriately. All right. Good luck, everybody. May all your picks be winning. See ya.